We are just so existentially in crisis all the time. And I just wonder if this life wasn't meant to be full of love and joy and happiness. I just think we're getting it a little bit wrong. So life is harm. None of us get out of here unscathed. It is harm. I'm not a Pollyanna minimalist on the things that cause us suffering. If you don't fix yourself with limited identities, if you do not compare yourself with anything, if you explore, and that seed, if you want this tree to grow to its less thing, that's why I said not the fruit, the root. If you count the fruits, maybe that tree is bearing more fruit than this one. That's not the point. You nurture the root, the fullest possible nurture. If you give to the root, what it has to become, it'll become. A blade of grass cannot become a tree, but is it not wonderful? So I think success is a funny thing, which is we all seem to pursue it, but we don't know how to measure it or actually how to define it. So how do you pursue something that you can't measure? I think we must all stop measuring promotions, salaries, and these things, but rather measure the momentum of your career. Does my career have momentum? Can I see it moving in the right direction? Can I see it gathering moss? Can I see that it's becoming easier for me to keep the momentum? It's becoming easier for me to grow the size of this thing. It's requiring less effort. That's the thing we need to measure. That's the thing that we need to be cognizant of, which is the momentum of our careers, not just the markers that we think define our success. We snap, we react at the drop of a hat just because we're out of balance. People who have a balanced life know how to handle pressure. People whose lives are not balanced sink under pressure. I know from living that if you quit whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you quit, whatever you were trying to accomplish can never happen. There's not even a remote possibility. If you quit, there is no chance of it popping back up again, coming back later. Quitting is guaranteed failure. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. You have to be able to see what doesn't exist in order to be able to pull off or achieve what in most people's minds seems to be impossible. Only those that can see the invisible, being able to see what's not there. What is your vision? What is your idea? What was that God-sent dream? And so whatever the volcano is, you have the capacity to take that volcano on, the capacity to jump in it and find your true identity. Here's another thing that keeps a lot of people from taking on the volcanoes and jumping into the challenges that they're confronted with. The fear of making mistakes or not feeling good enough. Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Guy said this, and it's true, is that the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything. Success and failure are generally slow processes, either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second, because those seconds, they turn into minutes, and minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. Maybe we are going through something. It doesn't change who I am. What I'm going through does not change who I am. And you're going to make some mistakes. If you want to do something out here, you're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory. Have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas. Never stop, never quit, never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you. That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second, and so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground in that second. Like, I believe in life, you got two separate people. You got champions, right? And they go through things in life that are self-inflicted. They bring it upon themselves. They get through it. They say, man, I got through it. And then you got warriors, right? They walk outside, the wind hits them, knocks them down, they pick up their stuff, they adjust and they get moving and they deal with the adversity that they didn't expect. They set their perspective right and they figure out a way to embrace it and add value to every environment that they go into and every person's life that they come in contact with. Now, when you're trying, you're going to fail. But quitting, just stopping, that was the number one thing I understood. And then number two, you have to make sure that your dreams, your aspirations and goals are so big that not accomplishing them is not an option. God didn't bring you in this world to be average. God didn't bring you in this world to wake up and die one day and just be another person that lived and died and didn't do anything significant in this world. Let me say something. It's very important that you listen to this. Most of you, you're so consumed with everything that's going on in the world. This is the reason you haven't figured out your own life yet. You can never shine trying to sit on someone else's sun. You can never figure out who you are if you're consumed in everything that everybody else is and what they're doing and the moves that they're making. When you are struggling with what to do, who you are, what's your next move, you are in an identity crisis. You are struggling with just who you are. See, you have not discovered who you are in order to move you forward every single day. So you want to get better. You want to self-improve. Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline and find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom. So a lot of people, if you've never made any major blunders, made some major mistakes, taken some serious risks, you haven't started living yet. You don't call that living, not rocking the boat, going through life quietly, tiptoeing, safely,